We only live one life. Is it about lifestyle? No, it's about your contribution. It's about how we spend our days, and it all depends on how we see ourselves, our self-image. Okay? Now, everyone has a story. Now, my story, as some of you guys might know, that I've been in real estate investing for quite some time now. I went to flipping homes and moving over that skill into multifamily, acquiring multifamily, being able to buy deals at a high cap rate because that's what the market was dictating for sale, and finding that the opportunity within the actual existing market was a very low cap rate. So some of the deals that I was able to purchase, I was essentially able to refinance from a 12 cap to a 5 cap pretty quickly at purchase because that's what the market was allowing. So I've had a lot of success in doing that. And what did that take me? It took me that it became a business. It became a business for me, whereby I would raise capital from investors. Investors are able to roll over that same amount of money into acquiring more properties, into acquiring more properties. And because they are able to scale their portfolio a lot faster than they could on their own, because I was able to reuse that same down payment and renovation cost and still keep the appreciation of the assets, still have the cash flow. I found a lot of success, and naturally, a lot of people have gravitated towards me and have asked me to demonstrate how I was able to accomplish that success within that realm. And so I accepted people to work with. I had a few students that I coached and I mentored, and some of them did really well. They went and bought real estate. They went and now have businesses, and they've done so well, just like with the information, the actual knowledge that I was able to provide. However, there were some that wasn't able to do anything about it, and I took a step back because I realized, I said to myself, am I mentoring students for the money, or am I mentoring them because I genuinely care about them? But the truth is, I've already made a lot of money in real estate. I don't need any more proof if I can make any more money in any other way. Money could be made in every way. That's what I've learned. And so I didn't want to focus on just constantly scaling that mentorship group. Just like, okay, like let's just get people in the pipeline. Let's just go through with them. And it doesn't matter what the success was. It didn't matter whether or not they made it. Let's just highlight the ones that won and let's continue. I could have made that choice, but I really put it all aside. And I truly tried to understand what is the biggest inhibiting factor to success to a lot of people. And it seems like it's not knowledge. People could have a lot of knowledge. People could have all the information. They could have all the calculators, all the contracts, all the connections. They could even have the deal. What is the difference? Right. And so it was months of soul searching journey for me, that when I understood that it is not about the knowledge that gets you somewhere, it's about your mindset. And when I understood what that truly meant and only worked on mindset, I had done, and I had literally created a life that I could have never fathomed, like where I am today. I've raised more money. I've been involved in much larger projects, and I have opportunities that I never thought I would have an opportunity to. I now am in collaboration with a private aviation company. I'm dealing with private jets. Like that's insane. Like the clientele that I work with are uh, family offices that could potentially be investors in my fund. So it's like, because of the understanding that the work that needs to get done is not the actual mundane work that we think, but it is really solely on your personal development, on your mindset. Everything had changed for me. My life has changed faster than it ever did when I was doing real estate investing. And so that's my story. And that's why I really wanted to share this, because again, it wasn't the strategy of which that made me the success. There's obviously the components of luck and continuous effort into doing it. But the actual pivotal moment was when I understood that the real work that needs to get done every single day is truly within yourself, which is an absolute bizarre idea, but I'm about to show you how that could actually translate for you. This journey is strictly between you and yourself. No one else is involved. Do you believe that, Alan? It's you. It's all on you. Do you
100%.
believe that? Yeah. It's nobody else. It's nobody else's fault if you make a mistake. It's nobody else's fault if you fall. It's nobody else's fault if you hit a wall. Right? It's you. So it's just you. You made those decisions. You made it up to where you are. Those financial decisions, good or bad, no matter what. Happiness, relationship, right? So the power of mindset. Mindset has the power to give you a life that most people only dream of. And your mindset will do the same for you, right? And the secret is your mindset. Do you believe this, Alan? Do you believe this?
I do. Yeah. I've been practicing
Okay.
for a while, and it's been working.
So,
Just um practicing, like trying to do everything day to day, trying to be consistent with intention.
And so, exactly going back to that, what would it take to build a rocket that would carry man to the moon and bring him back to safely to Earth? Right. So that's a question that was once asked, and the answer is the will to do it. The will. In just this 10 seconds of decision making, because you decided, something will change. That's why they sent a man to the moon. One day, some guy was tired of sitting on the floor, and they said, I'm tired of seeing my knee every time I sit. And so they created a chair from that idea, right? Someone had to create a will. Everything that is in front of you, everything that's within our use, that's connecting us to where we are, was a thought. That was a will that was created that came to fruition. Okay? So the success formula is 5% strategy, 95% mindset. You don't need any more courses about land development, multifamilies, anything else, any contracts, language, verbiage, whatever. 5% strategy, 95% mindset. That's it. That's it. And if you truly believe this, that your goal becomes your mindset, look at your results. Your results doesn't lie. Where does your scale within your happiness, your health, your wealth? Are you where you want to be financially? Are you where you want to be health wise? Are you where you want to be happiness wise with your family, with your relationships, with your environment? Your health, like, do you get backaches? You get a cold? Those are indications. Those are pressures. When your body is telling you and you get a little sick, it means your body is telling you something. You are doing something that you're not supposed to be doing. Back pains. But don't wait until it gets worse to the point that you're literally hospitalized from stress. But that's a buildup. These random rashes, these random breakouts, something, itchiness, whatever, hives, those things appear because that is your body. Your inner self is telling you there is something wrong with your existing. There's something wrong within your environment that you put yourself through.
Sorry to interrupt, but just one thing I'd like to add, if you don't mind.
What's that, Tommy?
I can really back you up on what you are saying, because for me, what happened, for example, this summer, I used to be one of the healthiest, like if not the healthiest in my surroundings at all times. So also, but always picked on as well for that. And actually, I neglected it recently, and I was just push, work. For me, pain that didn't really exist honestly if I got punched in the face doing training. And back pain happened 2 weeks ago. I couldn't even move. And I did really recognize it has to stop. It's no, that doesn't work like working from 8 till sometimes 10 o'clock at night, Sundays, no rest, no life. It's just chasing something. It's more gonna run away from me, and it actually did. Even like this is health and wealth at the same time. You know, my health is affected, and wealth didn't come, just run away from me instead of chasing. I have to, use the abundance, what you've been teaching me.
Your back pain, guys, like we make that small thing. I'll say, oh, my back hurts. I just worked out. It's okay. Listen to your body. These things are not by accident. There is a reason why we have a receptor called pain receptors, because we're supposed to feel. We are supposed to feel. We're supposed to understand. Absolutely. So your results won't lie. You can say you believe all of this, but your results won't lie. Where are you? If you are not your top-notch health, if you are not financially where you are, it doesn't lie. This is it. This is the receipt. So what is the actual point of working at the mindset? It's to develop your mental faculties. What are those? In the animal kingdom, and the difference between them and us is we have something called the prefrontal cortex. That is our logical brain, our thinking brain. Dogs don't have that. Animals don't have that. So what they have is instinct. But humans, we remove instinct and we put these key faculties that exist. We have something called perception. So your perception will be different from where you are. Okay, from which family you grew up in, the way you see problems, the way you see the world, the way you see money, the way you see debt. It'll change your perception, your imagination, how well you can create a life that you want, your will, how well can you execute on a thought, your memory, your intuition. Your intuition is something that is so key. You can take any courses that you want, land development, how to find deals off the shore, whatever, or if you want to build a 300-unit apartment building, they'll teach you the ABC. But the intuition is the only thing that will tell you not to lose that $30 million that investor's giving you. That's crazy. Anybody can teach you how to write up a contract. Like, you don't even need to be taught that. You just need to find the right people who could get it done for you. Because at the end of the day, that's what they're supposed to do anyway. The investor, the builder, the developer. If you don't have the right intuition, you will get lost in everything that you do. You will lose money. You will lose people. You are not, like, your relationships within your business is not going to work out. You need to have your intuition sharpened, your reasoning. These are key things that you need to be aware of, that it is something that you need to sharpen in the process of your growth within your mindset. These are the concepts. It doesn't take away from this. This is what you're working on. So you have to understand your mind. Okay? Your marvelous mind. Understanding the laws of the mind is essential to harmonizing the money frequency. You see, the money frequency is a frequency, the vibration. The same way how we can talk right now, there is a vibration by which you can clearly hear what I'm saying because we are connected to a certain channel. If you join a different Zoom, you'll hear something differently, correct? But you hear me because you're in my frequency. And money is also in a frequency. And so is your body. So is who you are. You are a massive pure energy functioning in frequencies. Everything about you is functioning on your frequency. And the reason why you're not getting that happiness, health, and wealth that you're looking for is that you're not tuned in to the frequency of what good health is, or what good happiness is, or what good wealth is. Does that make sense? We're not there. That's why you're not experiencing it. And if you are there, then you would be experiencing part of it. Okay? Now, we live in 3 planes of understanding. We are spiritual creatures, we have intellect, and we live in physical bodies. Do you guys agree with me on that, Alan? Yeah, Tommy, you agree? We are spiritual creatures. What does that mean? So if you put a dead person beside me and they're dead, okay, Kishore gave me this example. What's the difference between me and the dead person beside me? A dead person doesn't have a soul. So our spiritual DNA is perfect. It is all-knowing, all-powerful, ever-present, and real you. Okay, let's read that again. All-knowing, your spiritual DNA, who you are, because right now, we talked about this. You live in 3 planes of understanding. You're a spiritual creature, you have intellect, and you live in physical bodies. Your physical body is the vessel for the real you. The real you lives in physical body. Your intellect is what allows you to rationalize what I'm talking about. However, the real you is all-knowing, all-powerful, and ever-present. So, wait a minute. If you know everything already, and you are actually all-powerful already, and that is the real you, how come the real you hasn't shown the actual results that you want in your life? Isn't that a good question? And I'll go through that in that presentation. The reason why, even though your spiritual DNA is perfect, perfect means there's nothing wrong with it. That means there is a problem with the output. So if we just look at the basics of things, if this is good and the output is wrong, there's something wrong in the equation. And what's wrong in the equation? It's your paradigm. Have you heard of the concept paradigm before, Tommy?
Yes, I did.
Okay, Alan, you know the concept of paradigm? Yeah. So this is your mind. Really pretty circle. You have a conscious, educated mind, and you have an emotional, universal mind. Okay? Your conscious, educated mind are essentially where all your thoughts come from, all your 5 receptors. Your sight, your smell, your mouth, your hearing, your touch, right? Those are all receptors for your direct environment to take in as an information for our intellect, our conscious mind, so that it can go towards our emotional, universal mind. This is our subconscious mind. This is where all the programming happens. And when thought process goes through our conscious mind, straight to our emotional, universal mind, it transcends into our results. So what does that mean? That means the reason you are in your position is because of the thoughts that went through your head. The ideas. The reason why you're living your personal reality is because of the decisions that you made and the thoughts that you've made, consciously or subconsciously. So let's talk about your mind and your paradigms. Okay. Now, in 1934, Dr. Thurman Lead was very involved in healing arts and holistic health. He stated that the mind is an activity, not a thing. So it's not something just like useless. It's an activity. An activity is like golf, like something that you do. It's not technically a sport. It's something that you create engagement, consistent action with, right? No one has ever seen the mind, but so you can gain clarity and eliminate confusion. I want to show you an image that you can work with. Okay. So this is your conscious and subconscious mind in your body, okay? Your conscious mind is your thinking mind, okay? That's where you receive information, you start to think of ideas. Your educated mind, this is where you learn everything. Red could be possibly hot, green means go. Those are education that we've created, intellect, in order for us to choose or accept information that is in front of us. And our subconscious mind, here's the kicker. It can't reject anything that goes into the subconscious mind. It just accepts everything. And it can't determine the difference between that is which is real or what's imagined. So if you were to close your eyes, and don't close your eyes, Tommy, you're driving. If you were to close your eyes and imagine you're in the beach, enjoying yourself, you feel the wind, you love the warmth, beautiful drinks that you're enjoying, you close your eyes and you imagine that for yourself. What happens? Your body will turn into a state of calmness, relaxation. Why? Because your subconscious mind cannot determine which is real or imagined. Because you are thinking of something that is pleasing, that's happy. And that's why it's important for us to understand that our subconscious mind accepts any information that we give it. So whether it's good information or bad information, our subconscious mind accepts that and transcends it to our reality, creates the bodily reaction. The reason why you sweat is because you're working out. That is a conditioning that your mind knows that your heart rate will increase and it'll start pumping blood all over the place. This is simple science, right? Yes, Tommy.
I have two questions.
Yeah.
What about when actually like I know what I wanna like imagine, but I'm struggling to like happened to me many times. Struggling to like I know what I kind of want, but I'm struggling to imagine. And I used to just leave it and let it happen because of problem I thought might be it's not meant to imagine it, and it was a struggle to imagine. But I know what I would. Well, why is that?
What do you mean struggle to imagine?
Let's say
If I tell you imagine the sun and how it feels on your skin, what's the struggle in that process for you?
it's not that like for example say something, let's say big things. So if everybody want to be like well, not everybody, like many people want to be, let's say, very wealthy, right? And then for example when we do our affirmations, we have to like imagine that the state we are actually want to be at, and we are already in it, let's say living that life, that type of, let's say, lifestyle. And because for example like myself, I've never been in it. I've been like a billionaire lifestyle, being on like a big boat or something like this, right? Then I can make up something, but it's not. I know I can't always like. I don't imagine, and I don't know why. Like, why? What do you think? Why would that be? I know it sounds weird, maybe unusual.
I'm just trying to understand your question, but you're saying you want to imagine something that you've never experienced, but that is imagination. When you're trying to create an experience that hasn't happened, that is a form of imagination. And if you are not in the process of like I don't know about it, it's difficult. Is it? I mean, it's an imagination. You just create it in your mind, whatever that experience looked like for you, whatever.
It's like when you want to imagine. I just like okay. I want to like create. I can be very visual and very creative. But for example, there are certain things like I don't know what to imagine. It's not like how. It's like I don't know if I don't really want to take time
Then
out
think
of
of things that you want. Just think of what you want to imagine. Just think of what you want to think about. And anything that isn't right for that moment in time, it's for another day. We don't have to figure it all out in a day. We don't have to have all the answers today. We don't have to experience everything all in the same day. We can't do everything in a day, right? There's a point in time where it's like you just have to come into acceptance of allowing as nature unfolds that if you are gifted the time to think of things and you have the opportunity to receive those imaginative thoughts, that's your moment to do it. And if it's not something that you haven't created it, then just look forward to the next opportunity that you can imagine an opportunity.
Or are you saying don't force it if it doesn't come on its own?
There's nothing to be forced. Going back to it, what did I say? Who you are. You are a spiritual DNA. You are all knowing. So there is nothing that you haven't thought of that isn't for you. Let's just put it like there is nothing that you haven't thought of that isn't for you. So anything that you're thinking is for you. If you want to have a yacht and that thought came to you, then that's for you. You are powerful enough to make that thought like a reality for you as well. You have to just come to that acceptance that that is the real you and allow, just exist in that idea because that is who you are. And if there's not enough time in the day for you to imagine things, that's okay. That means let's just, pray for another day so we have another day to imagine things, right? So does that help?
Yes, thank you.
I'm glad. Yes, Kishore. You're muted, Kishore.
Correct, Thomas, correct me if I'm wrong. When you, for example, if you were to sit down now somewhere and you were trying to imagine something or some deal or something, is it you're saying that the mind continuously wanders, and the moment you sit down, the mind is somewhere else, and you want to imagine something else, and then again,
Okay.
yeah, go ahead.
I'll tell you right away. Like, so it's just certain things. So, for example, I already have I have a development in my mind, which is over 100 million.
Mhm.
And then I got even good feedback. So it's like I continue thinking about it because I know I'm gonna have it.
Mhm.
But it's more like for example, like we talked about life, most common, the type of life I haven't lived. Right, I've been in, like, for example, nice, very luxurious houses and stuff like that. That doesn't mean necessarily that's what I exactly want, but like when they say, like, there are many successful people who actually imagine their future already in advance and they plan that. They plan they're gonna have this, they're gonna have that, they're gonna do this, and then it's not certain things I haven't lived or haven't even close to experienced it or seen it. You know, sometimes I find that a bit more difficult to imagine. That's it. It's not about, like, I'm a big dreamer, so that's not really a.
So
I wanna answer that, Kishore. Sorry. We'll continue because I want to make sure we get through the presentation. But I want to answer that for Tommy because there's one part where you said the planning part, right? The idea of why we exist in this world, and you'll see this because I want to get through the presentation so everybody can
Sure.
get the full picture. The idea is that you're supposed to create your life. You are supposed to design your life. By nature, we are all creators. God breathed in us. We are so powerful, we can create the outcome for ourselves. That's why you created the outcome for yourself. That is why you're driving that vehicle. That's why where you are. That's why Ellen, you have a beautiful family, right? Exactly. That is what you're created to do. However, the process of what's in the middle, this is where the common misconception, everybody thinks they need to plan for things as they go. The beauty is that you're just supposed to experience the middle. That is where God comes in. That is the how. You're not supposed to figure out the how. And again, I can go more deep into that. But the idea is this: as we get older, when we're living, we look down where our feet stand, okay, and we plant the seed and say, I'm gonna get a house, I'm gonna get a car, I'm gonna get a family. And so you're growing this land that's right beneath your feet, and you're looking down, and you're like, why isn't it growing fast enough? What am I doing wrong? Well, first of all, get out of the way. Get out of the way because you're blocking all the potential of sunlight, rain that could grow for that seeds that you've planted beneath your feet. However, when the moment you step away and you look around, you'll see that the land is more fertile than you can ever imagine, and you have more land. Your mind is the most fertile thing that ever exists in this universe. However, you see it in this point of view, this vision that you're like, whoa, this is my life, but it's actually everything else that is around you. You can plant more seeds that is around you. And while you're waiting for this to grow, you're waiting for this to grow, you're waiting for this to grow. The how happens while you are doing your passion. The how happens everything in the middle. Okay. I want to go through this whole presentation. We'll have a discussion after because I think the discussion will be much more substantial when this is completed. So who you are today, okay? Who here can agree that sometimes they would pick up their phone and say, what am I like? I don't know what to do, but I'm going to pick up my phone to see what I'm going to do. Are we a victim of that, Alan? Sometimes you just go on like what's on the app sometimes,
Yeah, sometimes. Not all the time,
Yeah.
but it happens.
Yeah, but it happens. What happens to that is that we allow our external environments to create the thought for us, meaning social media, other people, and this could be your family, it could be your direct family, it could be anybody that you live with, it could be anybody that you work with, or any other ideas, any other mundane ideas in the outer world. This can create your thoughts. And because this creates your thought, it impresses within your subconscious mind, and that is what creates your reality. Now, look here. You as an infant, you as an infant is a collective information or collective pre-program based on your direct influence, your family, your friends, other people's opinions. Your subconscious mind is so ready for programming as an infant. That is why they say you become your parents as you get older, right? We've all heard that because your subconscious mind has allowed you for programming like since you're young. And here's the crazy part. Everybody that is programming your subconscious mind, creating that program in your mind of how the world works, are from people which are our direct influence that were also programmed when they were young and they didn't even know it. So all the ideas that you have about yourself and about the world are really ideas that everybody else had. And they don't even know that they had those ideas imprinted on them by other people. So whose idea are you really carrying with life if people that influence you don't even know that they were influenced? That's interesting, right? That becomes your paradigm. That's you today. This is you as an infant. This is you today. That subconscious programming becomes your paradigm. It becomes your identity. It becomes your self-image. It becomes that conditioning of how you believe or see the world, the types of opportunities that will be in front of you. If you were to give a kid born of a rich family $1 million versus the kid who wasn't born of a rich family for $1 million, their outcome will be different. You believe that? Of course, because their paradigm is different. The paradigm, it's not the money that's the variable that changes lives. It's the paradigm that changes the outcome. So the paradigm influences all the behavior. So it doesn't matter again how much you know, right? So you today, this is your paradigm. You have been programmed since you were young. All these ideas you harness, all these beliefs, all these strategies, these are all paradigms that you have made to believe that is your reality. Okay? However, we have the knowledge and the power to accomplish most anything we want. You went to school, you studied, maybe took a couple of courses, real estate courses, learn how to run numbers, do this, do that. But your results haven't changed. Why? Because of your paradigm. However, we have not developed a clear understanding of how they are formed, which is I just showed you, or how they control the habitual behavior. Because the behavior is what creates the outcome. When you do something repeatedly is what creates the outcome. Therefore, we frequently do not do what we already know how to do. We have superior knowledge, insane amount of knowledge within our fingertips, but inferior results. And it causes confusion and frustration. So you don't need to study any more than your paradigm and unlearning that. Because that is the reason why you are where you are, which is not where you want to be. So the only thing to do is be like, what is my paradigm? What is it? How do I unlearn it? That should be your main frustration right now. It should be like, well, this sucks. I need to figure this out. This is not my idea. These are everybody else's ideas. You have to build a new self-image. You have to build a new self-image. Your paradigm is even what created your self-image. How you are, how dads are supposed to look, how contractors are supposed to look, right? Becomes the paradigm. However, for you to change your life, you need to build a new self-image. I'm going to give you guys an example, and it's really, really, really important you understand what I mean by self-image. Because it doesn't matter what it is that you do in life unless you change your self-image. I met a business owner who was taking my order, and he was punching it on in like this cashier registry, and he was the owner of the franchise. And apparently, he owned 3 other franchises. He's the investor. He's the business owner, and he's also taking my order, so he's the employee. Would you look at that? He built his infrastructure, but yet he's still taking the order. Why? Because he hasn't seen himself as the investor. While he promoted himself in life to become the investor that he become, where he took on the risk to take on debt, instead of identifying creative ways of creating a new self-image for himself so that he can continue to be an investor the way he intended it to be, he fell in and become an employee for his franchise. because of his lack of self-image. He shouldn't be taking orders. He should be in the table discussing why his business is the way it is. Because why? That's his results. If his business is for some reason falling apart, that's why he has to take an employee job. He should be sitting here listening to this and questioning why is his result the way it is, not taking orders. So that he can go and fix it, so that he can build a self-image and he can scale his investments further and he can become the person that he wants to be. Because I highly doubt that if someone owns 7 franchises, they really want to be taking orders. In the tilt. You are a business owner. Leave that to the 17-year-old. That's the reason why you have a business. You need to be able to give jobs to younger people. That's what that job is. It's an entry-level job. You have clearly the intellect to do something, to take on a risk, to take on a loan. But why are you taking on a job? Oh, maybe because I have money issues or whatever. Again, this is more of a reason why you should be in these rooms studying this, understanding your self-image, understanding where your paradigm comes from, understanding that your focus every single day should be that understanding this paradigm of which you exist. Because it almost exclusively controls our habitual behavior, and all behavior is habitual. And it influences your perception, your use of time, creativity, effectiveness, productivity, logic, your effectiveness. How effective are you when you're doing what you want to do? If you're trying to raise money and find people, how effective are you on that? If you're not effective, there's a reason why. It's because your paradigm is influencing that effectiveness. It's really just that simple. Your use of time. Again, some person is taking orders behind the counter instead of thinking of ways how to construct his life. Productivity. Again, that's the same thing. Creativity, your ability to create. You cannot create if you're busy doing mundane tasks every single day. Right? You need some time to be creative. You need time to be able to breathe the fresh air and say, this is the type of life I want. Right? So self-reflection, because you are a collective idea of everybody else, are you truly what or who you pretend to be? Because Alan Mendoza is a name given to you. You didn't even choose that. You were just born and you realized the moment you knew how to speak that your name was Alan. It wasn't even your idea. Right? So how many more ideas are not yours? And then you say, this is me. It's not you. And this is, again, goes back to relationships, goes back to friendships, goes back to business. What you are experiencing is a paradigm, and that is not who you are. Right? If you truly reflect on that, you'll understand that all of your life experiences are identity that you didn't even create. That's why it's a little bit of a mess. It's confusion. Why are things not lining up the way they look like? Okay? Transform your life. Imagine the massive and permanent change as you begin to improve these areas of your life. You have to start thinking about this. This has to be something that you wake up in the morning and be like, this has to be something I need to solve. Because otherwise, anything I do, even if you win the lottery tomorrow, your paradigm will dictate the outcome of that money. This has to be a commitment. And that you have to develop a beautiful image of yourself. A beautiful image of yourself, study and gain the true understanding of what it is that you are truly meant to do, which is something that you need to create. That is what life is, to creating who you truly are. That is what it needs to create who you truly are. It is not the ideas, these perceptions that other people have created for you. These ideas, like anything, your belief about money, that's somebody else's belief about money. Your belief how money is made, that's somebody else's idea. How credit works, that's somebody else's idea. Somebody ran away with money and it's supposed to be yours. That's again, that's your perspective about it. It's still an idea that someone gave you that's supposed to be wrong or right. It's still somebody else's idea. You are still living in somebody else's paradigm. So let go of these ideas, because your truest journey, you're not supposed to have any baggage. If it feels heavy and hard, if your journey feels heavy and hard, you are carrying somebody else's baggage. That should be your first sign. If there is any strains of your relationship with money, I probably shouldn't do this because of this. Those are ideas. Those are baggage. Your truest journey, because the real you is your energetic spiritual journey, There's no baggage. Not even your own physical body can hold you back from getting it done, from connecting to where you're supposed to be. Right? So I don't know if anyone has ever seen this, but I just want to show this amazing graph of consciousness chart. So this consciousness chart allows you to understand how vibration works. Everything in the lower vibration is anything bad that could ever happen to you. Accidents are not real accidents. Accidents happen when you're vibrating very low. Back pain happens when you're vibrating very low. You will encounter people that are vibrating very low. You don't want to encounter people that are vibrating very low. You don't want to work with people that are vibrating very low because they're the ones who's going to get afraid first. And when people are afraid, there is no consciousness for them to say, this is not a good thing. I shouldn't be inflicting pain in others. I shouldn't be inflicting bad things in others. I should create accountability to myself and to my environment. And there should be this higher moral ground that I should be creating. But anybody who vibrates at a low perspective, anyone who's angry, they have no reason. There's no reason. You cannot reason with anybody. If you've ever gotten into a fight with anybody, it doesn't get any better when you're both angry. I think everybody has experience for that. And so the only opposite travel is a higher frequency, and a higher frequency is where everything good exists, where we want our children to be raised in, the environment of love. That's the only environment we want to create for our children, but we can't create that for anybody unless we create that for ourselves. We have to truly know what it means to love who we are. You already have the knowledge and power to achieve most things. Develop a clear understanding of how paradigms are formed and how they control your habitual behavior. Improve these areas to see significant and lasting changes in your life. You have the knowledge. You don't need any more other than understanding. What is your conditioning? You have to question that. What is your pre-existing belief that is limiting you from creating the outcome that you desire? Understand how it's formed, exactly what I said, what it's influencing you, and how it controls your behavior. And once you improve that, you will see the lasting changes in your life, because it is not the outcome. It is not the strategy of which that's going to make you money. It's not going to make you a billionaire. It is not the strategy. It is your understanding of how your paradigm might form and creating the life that you want to create. When you start focusing on creating the life that you want to create and start breaking down these paradigms, fighting and getting through these egos and making sure that you don't let ego get in the way of you making these decisions, that's the only way your life can change. You have to create a vision of what it is that you want. You will never get anywhere unless you decide where you're going first. You have to have a clear picture of your direction. And that direction is your intention. Your direction is, how do you visualize success? If it is money that you want, write it down. How much money do you want? If it's happiness, write it down. If it is experience through a certain event, write it down. Think about it. Before you come home, think about what you want as an outcome before you get there. You are creating your life. You are creating your story. There is no one else creating that for you. Let's not pretend to create misery so that we can have this all of a sudden new life, new me, that development. You could do that at any point in time. We don't need to go through pain for us to start taking care of ourselves. We could just do that now. Don't wait until your health gives up on you. Don't wait until you're absolutely broken. There's nothing else for you. Don't wait until you can't move or breathe no more. Do something now. Make it a priority and understand that you need to love yourself. And in order for you to truly love yourself, you need to put you first by creating what is future you and removing those paradigms by which that controls that outcome. Create your life, remove your conditionings, and it's a process. And that is how your life is supposed to be. The moment you start practicing that, creating intention, your life will significantly change. Opportunities will come left, right, and center. My calendar is so full. And my phone is still vibrating all day. My phone doesn't even last half a day. That is the amount of things that I have to organize my life just because I am creating. And that's my only focus. That is my only focus. There's literally checks that are waiting for me to deposit that I haven't deposited yet. That's I don't have time to deposit those. If that is if that is the experience you want out of life, just I promise you, just focus on this and that. And there's more to this, whatever it is, whatever opportunity you have in the pipeline, whatever it is that you guys are thinking of, I'm telling you, it's not the opportunity. The opportunity will come because these are just seeds. Every opportunity is just a seed that you're planting. Life is not supposed to be a linear journey. Don't think that you're just because you took a house flipping course that you're supposed to flip a house within the same year and make the same money. Life is not supposed to look like that. Life in truest journey is a fertile land, and you have seed of thoughts that you plant everywhere. And you just have to make sure your paradigm is formed correctly for those seeds to grow within the right conditions. I love you.